Hello everyone. I hope you guys can hear me. Rupali, please can you confirm me once?
Yes, you are audible loud and clear.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Okay, so guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening because participants are joining from different time zones. So greetings to all of you, my dear friends. And first of all, guys, I welcomes to all of you on behalf of KOENIG Solution to joining this webinar. Okay, so guys, first of all, just let me introduce myself. My name is Ankur Kumar, as you can see on the screen. I am a VMware certified instructor, having more than 8+ years of experience in this training industry. I delivered so many training for different technology like ethical hacking, penetration testing, Linux or virtualization. Okay, for different vendors like Red Hat, Cisco, CompTIA, EC Council, and of course, our VMware. So, guys, today's agenda is to discuss some of the features of NSXT intrinsic security. Because, guys, I hope you are familiar and you know about it that VMware nowadays a leader of market, which is actually providing so many security, so many virtualization, so many solution to virtualize our data center. Okay, and there is one very most popular technology which is guys NSXT. So today's agenda to discuss the intrinsic security feature of NSXT. So just let me discuss the agenda that what we are going to cover today and what are the topics. So guys, as you can see, the webinar topic is intrinsic security. So before starting this one, we should be aware that what is the meaning of security, why we are implementing the security, what is the meaning of information security. Then we will also discuss because it may also be possible that in this webinar, some of the participants, they may be new, right? So they do not have the idea about NSXT. So I will also give you the basic overview about NSXT because this is very popular technology of VMware. So we'll discuss what is NSXT. Then guys, because we are discussing the intrinsic security, then we should also be aware about the benefits and use case of intrinsic security. Okay, element of security. I hope some of the participants are familiar with this terminology because this is when the security word come into picture. Then obviously, guys, this element of security term will be together because we have multiple elements of security. So how many elements we have? What are the use case for every element? Right? What they are assuring. So we'll discuss about this topic. Then, guys, when that is security will be here, then obviously firewall will come into picture. My dear friends, we will discuss that how many type of firewalls we have in this NSX. So guys, we have two type of firewall, distributed firewall and gateway firewall. What are the differences between the distributed firewall and the gateway firewalls? So we will cover in this webinar topic also. IDS and IPS, which is also one of the very popular security functionality security features, or which can be used to prevent any kind of malicious software. Because IDS intrusion detection system and intrusion prevention system, which is working on the basis of signature database. So we'll see how it will work in NSXT and how it will be support in NSXT. TLS inspection, guys, this is also very interesting feature, this very interesting technology, which is also one of the integrated feature of NSXT. It have the capability whenever we are using the SSL certificate, then it's a it's a very big challenge to identify that if any attacker will try to compromise any device, then he can encrypt the traffic and will send this particular traffic to the directly server. And you know guys that IDS, and there is no IDS and IPS which is having the capability to detect any encrypted traffic. So that's why, my dear friend, this TLS inspection will decrypt that one and then will forwarded it for inspection to any IDS, IPS, firewall, whatever the kind of features we are actually using. It will forwarded this one to the for inspection and then again re-encrypt the traffic and forward it to the backend servers. So this is also a newly introduced technology in VMware. We'll discuss this also. NSX malware prevention. My dear friend, whenever malware word come into picture, then some of very popular names, that moving in our mind, like that what is virus, worms, Trojan, spyware, ransomware, keylogger. So these all are the kind of malwares which may harm to our devices. So guys, VMware also integrated this very interesting feature, which is malware prevention. It is having the capability to detect any kind of malicious activity, malicious software, that is any particular malware, and it is protecting our data center against any kind of malware threat. Then guys, we have very nice and very powerful tool, which is NSX intelligence. So this NSX intelligence is very powerful tool, and this is also one of the integrated solution of our NSXT. It have the capability to gain the access in network, and then will provide you the information how the traffic is flowing between the sender and the receiver. Even that, it will also give you the recommendation for the micro segmentation. You know, my dear friend, micro segmentation is very interesting technology, very interesting procedure, because micro segmentation is one of the procedure to divide our data center into a small zone so that we can provide the protection as per the granular level. Right. So finally, in a simple word, we can say that we can use the micro segmentation to implement zero trust security architecture, because zero trust security architecture always says that never trust, check everywhere. So that's why, my dear friend, we'll see how this NSX intelligence will work and how it will be integrated with our NSXT. And at the end, guys, we have NDR, network detection and response, because obviously we cannot secure anything up to 100%. Okay, or we can only reduce the risks tends to zero, but we cannot secure anything up to 100%. So if there is any kind of the attack will be there, then my dear friend, this NDR, network detection and inspection, it is also, it is also one of very nice tool, one of very interesting feature, which is also in, which is also integrating with our NSXT. And my dear friend, what actually it will do, it will detect any kind of network attack, and it will create an attack scenario and will provide this attack scenario to the security team, and having all the kind of information that what was the timestamp, what was the kind of threat, how many objects are going to be infected. Okay, so we will cover all these kind of the topics here. So guys, as per the particular time duration, we have this webinar time for 7 to 8 p.m. IST, that is for 1 hour. And guys, last 15 minutes we will have for question and answer session. Okay, so whenever guys you have any question, you can put your questions in the chat window, and then guys, obviously you will get the answer of all these particular questions. So let's continue with the information security. So first one, guys, information security. What is the meaning of information security? Why we are using this security? Because you know, guys, that data is a very critical term. Data is a very critical thing for any organization, and every organization using the so many security tools to to prevent any kind of threat, because they always want to protect their data, because their data, it is actually having the critical information. So all these kind of the particular practice, all these kind of the practice set, whatever we are using to protect our data, this is the information security. So in a simple word, my dear friends, you can simply say that that information security is the set of practice to protect our data in any particular data. Even that if whenever we are actually using some best practice, even that whenever we are using some of the particular security tools, we are using some of the policies, we are using some of the compliance. So these all are the part under the information security. Information security is always a best practice to protect our information, to protect our data. Now, what is NSXT? So guys, NSXT, as I already informed you, this is very popular technology, right? This is very popular technology, and for this particular technology, VMware also provide the solutions, also provide the product. So my dear friend, NSX, just let me introduce first of all this technology. What is this actually NSXT? Nowadays, guys, you know that most of the data center, physical data center, they all are actually moving with the virtualization. And I already informed you that in the virtualization field, VMware is the leader. So it is providing so many solutions to virtualize our data center. So my dear friend, obviously we just need to provide the security also, and we just need to provide some of the network virtualization, because whenever we are just virtualizing our compute, right, we are just virtualizing our so many management tools. So obviously guys, we need a particular connectivity also, virtual network also, because in our data center so many workloads are actually running. It can be any virtual machine, it can be any container. So that's why this NSX technology, it is actually providing the network virtualization. Okay, and not even that, not only for the network virtualization, my dear friend, it is also having so many security functionalities, and all these particular security functionalities which are already integrated with this NSXT, my dear friend, we are calling that this is the intrinsic security of NSXT. Even that we will cover most of the features, most of the security features in this webinar. But as I informed you that this NSXT is a network is a technology which is providing the network virtualization and having so many security functionalities as well as also. So for achieving this network virtualization in our environment, VMware providing one product, right, which is NSX Manager. Okay, which is NSX Manager. So this NSX Manager is one of the appliance which can be deployed in our environment. And then, my dear friends, we can achieve simply this technology. We can just configure the network virtualization in our environment. But as I informed you guys that whenever you are configuring the network virtualization, right, then obviously we need some of the particular security features. So we'll cover these all the security features and what are the particular challenges we are facing, right? What are the challenges we are facing in traditional data center, and how we can just remove that kind of the vulnerabilities, and how we can achieve the particular high level of the security with the help of this NSX intrinsic security functionalities. So guys, here we have some of the security challenges in modern data center. Because first of one, my dear friends, we have bolted on solution. What is the meaning for this bolted on solution? Nowadays, guys, if we discuss about the average, right? So most of the companies are actually they are using average more than 80 security tools to provide the protection for our data. But you know, guys, this is again a very big challenge. Why I am saying that this is a big challenge? Because whenever we are using multiple security tools, then obviously some they are actually having the different agent, right? Some are actually having the different agent, some are actually having the different interface, which is very difficult to manage. Even that some are also having the particular different, because they are actually having the different agent, so they are also using the different port, different protocol, and it's a very typical task. It is a very complex scenario to manage all these tools together. So that's why, my dear friend, for this one we need a particular silo teams. What will be in this particular silo team? That we will just manage a collaboration across multiple team, like that, that we will start a collaboration for network team, security team, application team, because obviously whenever we are using multiple security solutions and they are actually having the different networking, different interface, different agent, so we just need to manage it, right? And this is again a very big challenge. So that's why these teams, they will work as a particular silo. Okay, they will be work as a particular together. We will start a collaboration, which is again a particular big task, because we just need to, nowadays if there is any particular culprit, right? So who can, he can just share any particular critical information to others also. Because nowadays, my dear friend, if you know that social engineering is a very popular and very common attack, right? So maybe if there is any particular unsatisfied employee in any one of the team, because we are starting a collaboration across multiple team, and if there is any particular culprit and who is actually not satisfied with the organization, then someone can take the advantage of that vulnerability. Because guys, this is also one of the kind of vulnerability. So in this condition, guys, obviously we are actually having this one is also one of the challenges here. Third one, guys, threat centric solution. What is this threat centric solution? Because still so many organization, right? What so many security tools, what they are actually doing, they are putting these particular, they are isolating these all the threats, right? And then protecting against these kind of the threats. And my dear friend, it may also be possible because we are actually using multiple tools and we are not aware even that about that one, because sometimes we are actually having some of the lack about the particular trainings. Our teams, they do not have the enough knowledge because multiple tools are there and we are isolating all the threats. So in this condition, obviously they are also inviting to any particular big threat. So how we can remove these kind of the threats? So my dear friend, for this one, VMware introduce intrinsic security. Because guys, NSX is one of the very interesting and very popular technology. So VMware introduced some of the particular intrinsic security features. What are the use case? What are the benefits for this intrinsic security? First one, and very interesting guys, built-in solution. Because whenever any particular NSX administrator who is managing entire NSX administrator, so my dear friend, these all these security solutions, they are already integrated, they are already built in with the NSX. So that's why through the single console only, you will find out a particular separate graphical user interface, and through the single console the administrator have the capability to manage all the functionalities, to define all these functionalities. And even that, if we discuss about the training part, then obviously all these features and functionalities, we are also having the dedicated trainings for this one, for intrinsic security features also, for NSXT also. So who is having the knowledge about NSXT, so that NSX administrator can easily manage multiple security features through the single console. This is one of the benefits of the built-in solution. Unified teams. So unified teams, my dear friends, they are bringing teams and tools together, because now this, that particular guy who is actually managing our entire NSX administrator is already having the access on our data center. Even that, he's also having the access how to manage these security features, because they are now tightly integrated with NSXT. So there's no requirement for the different graphical user interface, because this is now integrated. So through the single console, he can manage these all the security functionalities through the single console. Even that he can just define any particular policy, right? So these are some of the particular benefits. If we discuss about the context centric solution, so my dear friend, what is the aim of this context centric solution? The aim of this context centric solution is to provide a very rich context centric solutions, because my dear friend, it is actually just provide the awareness about the particular threat behavior, right? What is the behavior of the threat? So we are just getting the awareness for this one. Okay, so these are some of the benefits of this intrinsic security. So guys, element of security, some of the participants, maybe they are familiar with this word with CIA triad, right? And maybe guys, some of the participants, they are actually having the information that we have total 5 elements of the security, right? What are the meaning of these elements of security, and why we are using it, and why this is a particular standard. So my dear friend, CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. This is very popular and most common term, because guys, these element of security, they are a standard, right? Because we are actually using these element of security to assess the security of any organization, right? Whenever we just want to assess the security of any organization, then my dear friend, these all the element of security will come into picture. So earlier guys, we had only these three, CIA, but nowadays guys, we have total 5 element of the security: confidentiality, integrity, availability, and next one, my dear friends, we have the authentication, authenticity, simply you can write down here, authenticity and non-repudiation. Okay, so we have these two terms as well as also here to just check the security of any organization. What is the meaning of these confidentiality, integrity, and availability? My dear friends, let's suppose this is the sender, and this sender want to come, and this is the receiver. So whenever the sender want to send any particular traffic to this receiver, then my dear friend, what this confidentiality ensure? What is the use case for this particular confidentiality? Confidentiality ensure that only sender and receiver should be able to see the content of the message. Let's suppose this is a sender, he just want to send a hello message to this particular receiver. Then what this confidentiality is ensuring? It is ensuring that only sender and receiver should be able to see the content, should be able to see the content of the message. If any third person is also able to see the content of the message, then my dear friend, this is the loss of confidentiality. That is, we are not maintaining the confidentiality. And guys, you know that in our environment, whenever our data, it is always a very confidential thing, so it should be always confidential. So my dear friend, what actually we can do, what kind of the particular solutions we can provide, will cover in that particular training part, because this one will be a very lengthy topic, and here we are only just introducing some of the topics. Okay, so we will see how we can just maintain the confidentiality in our organization. Then what this integrity it is actually saying, because my dear friend, nowadays on the public network, so many attackers are actually sitting, they are continuously sniffing our data. And by chance, my dear friend, suppose this sender, it is actually sending any particular very important keys, very confidential keys, and by chance, my dear friend, this can be sniffed by any particular attacker. right? So these are loss of confidentiality. And suppose if this attacker is unable to sniff these particular keys and unable to get the information about these keys, so this attackers always they have the bad habit. Then this attacker can inject any particular queries, any virus, any worms in this particular data, in this packet. So whenever this particular packet will be executed as per the receiver end, then my dear friend, it may harm to receiver device. So this is again one of the big challenge. So this is the integrity. Then what is the meaning of integrity? That my dear friend, integrity is always assuring that the data should not be changed during the transmission. Whenever sender want to send any particular data, then this data should not be changed during the transmission. Then what kind of the method we can use to maintain the integrity? How we will maintain the integrity? So guys, we have some of the particular functionalities and features by which we can easily maintain the integrity, so that if any attacker want to inject any kind of malicious query in our data, right, then my dear friend, we can easily manage it. Next term is availability. Guys, what is actually availability? This is also a very interesting term. Availability, it is ensuring that our all the legitimate resources, they should be available all the time for the legitimate users. Let's suppose, guys, this is our particular server. On this server, our application, it is actually hosting. Our services are hosting on this server. And guys, attackers, they always have the habit, maybe for any particular, that they have the competition, maybe they are any to down your reputation. What actually they can do, they can perform any kind of the particular DOS attack, denial of services. Maybe he can just use any kind of the particular attack, and in this condition, what will be happen? Your service will be no more. It may be halt, it may be crash your server. So in this condition, my dear friend, these kind of the in this condition, our services will be no more. And guys, availability, it is ensuring that all the legitimate services should be available for all the time for the legitimate users. And whenever, my dear friends, that our server, our services is no more, then guys, this is the loss of availability. So for this one, my dear friend, we should ensure that we are maintaining the availability. We have some of the technology, some of the techniques to maintain the availability. As I told you that, guys, we have the authenticity and the non-repudiation. Authenticity, it is testing that the resources, they are coming from the legitimate. Whenever suppose you want to access any particular website, how you can ensure that this is the genuine website? My dear friend, this is also again a very big challenge nowadays, because nowadays what attackers are actually doing, they are making so many clone website, right, and share the links with you. And sometimes you are also thinking, oh, like this is the Facebook link, this is the Insta link, and as per your interest, suppose you are interesting, suppose you have a very nice interest like that in a photography, right? So in this condition, and attacker knows that you have a very good interest in a particular the particular photography, then he will send any particular information, right, any particular link, and then ask to you that please see these, this is a very particular nice photograph, or maybe whatever the particular, suppose you have the particular interest in the game, and he will share the particular URL with you, that you can download this particular game offline from here, even that this is any particular paid service, you can use that one. So how you can ensure that all the resources, all these information, which one you are accessing, this is the legitimate? How you will taking care of the guarantee? So guys, this authenticity, right, it is just ensuring that all the information, which one you are receiving, which one you are achieving, whatever the kind of resources you are accessing, they are authenticate, they are genuine, they are legitimate. Non-repudiation, my dear friend, someone cannot deny after doing something, because nowadays, suppose if someone commitment with you that okay, we will do something, and that because you do not have any particular evidence against him, and he is denying. Okay, so how you can maintain these kind of the particular non-repudiation? Because non-repudiation is always taking care of the guarantee that no one can deny after doing something. So guys, these are the element of security. Now, just let me tell you one more thing, my dear friend, because we have discussed about this NSXT. But this NSXT, guys, that in this, whenever we want to configure the NSXT, then we have two type of the traffic flow. Because, my dear friends, whenever we'll discuss a security feature, this NSXT is also very interesting. Why? Because, guys, it is also providing the security feature. It is having multiple security feature, but it is providing the security, and you can implement this security feature as per the multiple step, multiple level. Why and which kind of this thing? So my dear friend, whenever you want to configure the NSX in your environment, then guys, we have two type of traffic flow: east west traffic flow and north south traffic flow. What are the differences between the east west and the north south? The meaning of east west traffic flow, whenever our servers they are communicating internally, so guys, that is internal traffic. We are calling east-west communication. And whenever our server, they just want to communicate to the physical environment, that is physical to virtual communication and vice versa. So this kind of traffic, my dear friend, we are calling north-south traffic, north-south connectivity. And this is the internal, that is the east-west connectivity. So how whenever we are discussing this security feature, then guys we can use this security feature to provide the security for internal traffic, that is the east west communication, and we can also configure these particular security features as per the north south traffic level also, because like this one will be the architecture. Whenever you want to configure, my dear friend, this nsxt, it will provide you the virtual networking. What is the meaning of virtual network? Whenever networking word come into picture, then guys you know that networking is incomplete without switching and routing, because these two are the main component, right, for the networking. So guys, obviously if we are discussing about the virtualization, then obviously we need a virtual switch. So guys, obviously because VMware, it is actually providing the distributed switch, and whenever this routing will come into picture, then guys this nsxt also have one of the appliance which is providing the virtual router as well as also. So guys, whenever you want to configure this particular north south security, it will be implemented as per the logical router level, right, logical router level. And whenever you want to configure east west security, it can be configured as per the switching level, that is a layer 2 security and layer 3 security. So guys, if you can see here that nsxt is also having a very nice functionalities, and the beauty for these in this intrinsic security, you can implement this security as per the the switching layer 2 level also, and you can provide the security for the layer 3 also. And even that, my dear friend, if you want to provide the security as per the application layer, right, that is the layer 7 security also, because whenever you want to configure the firewall rule, this nsx firewall, they are also providing the security for the particular layer 7 traffic also, and even that layer 4 rules you can also configure. So let's start about these particular security features. So as I told you, my dear friend, first of all, the whenever we start about the security functionality, then firewall will come into picture. So guys, again, we have these particular two type of firewall which is supported by NSX. First one is the distributed firewall, and second one is the gateway firewall. What are the differences? Why we are using these two firewalls? As I informed you, guys, we have two type of features, two type of traffic, east west and the north south. So as per this particular picture, guys, if I will explain here, can you see here, guys, that these are the particular logical routers? These are the logical routers. And here, guys, if you can see here, then these are the virtual machines which is actually connecting with the particular network. So this is in the blue color, this is a separate network. In the green color, this is a separate network. So, and in this particular red color, guys, if you can see, these are the distributed firewalls. So if you can see, as per this particular diagram, these distributed firewall, they are providing the security for east west traffic, east west communication. But if you can see in this yellow color, they are the gateway firewall. And these gateway firewall, where they are actually implemented, my dear friend, you can see they are implemented as per the gateway uplink interface. So these are the gateway firewall. So whenever any particular traffic will be hit, right, from the public environment, you can see it is actually providing the first layer of the security as per the gateway level, as per the uplink interface. So it will check. So my dear friend, you can configure the firewall rule here. Second step, right, second step will be this one, second level. So if by chance this one will be allowed here, right, and this traffic will be allowed, then my dear friend, this distributed firewall will check it here. And you know where it will be inserted? My dear friend, you can see this is hypervisor kernel embedded stateful firewall. What is the meaning for this word, my dear? Let me tell you here. If you are familiar with the virtualization, then guys, obviously we have very popular, right, hypervisor, which is the ESXi hypervisor. Whenever you are deploying any particular virtual machine, let's suppose, guys, this is any particular physical host, and whenever you are installing here ESXi hypervisor. So ESXi is one of the operating system, and then on the top of this one we are creating the virtual machine. Then these virtual machines are associated with this operating system, and this is the particular vnic. Okay, vnic, virtual network interface card. So this distributed firewall, this is actually implemented as per the slots of this virtual NIC. So that's why, my dear friends, you can see whenever any particular traffic want to enter here, and it will be just going to outside, then as per the particular virtual NIC level, it will inspect the entire traffic. So you can see, guys, this is actually for every virtual machine. And what are these virtual machines? They are our servers. So you can simply configure the security as per the particular VNIC level, very granular level. And for the particular entire, my dear friends, whenever entire traffic is actually coming, so you can filter this traffic as per the gateway level. So that's why, my dear friend, I am just telling you that this intrinsic security, it is actually providing the security functionality, security features, as per the multiple steps level. So you can see, my dear friends, we can configure it here and even that here also. So this can be implemented by the distributed firewall, and this can be done by gateway firewall. So this is the gateway level firewall. Guys, this gateway level firewall, they can be implemented as per the gateway. So guys, it is supported for both type of gateways, because in our NSXT environment, again, guys, we have two type of gateways. What is the meaning of this gateway? Don't be confused, guys. The gateways, they are the logical routers. Okay, whatever we are deploying in our environment. So we have two type of gateways: tier 0 gateway and tier 1 gateway. Whenever we want to enable, we want to manage north-south routing functionalities. That is, whenever we want to manage routing functionalities for our north-south traffic, then this tier 0 gateway will come into picture. And whenever we want to manage the routing functionalities for our internal communication, suppose this workload is the part of different subnet, this workload is the part of different subnet, but you can see that these all the servers, they are running inside our data center. So guys, how we can provide the security? So guys, obviously, how we will provide the connectivity? To provide the connectivity, we just need to deploy the gateway. And these are the gateways, tier 1 gateways, which is actually managing the east-west routing functionalities. So obviously, guys, these gateway firewalls, they can be implemented as per the tier 1 gateway level also, and the tier 0 gateway level also. It is supported here. So if you can see here, guys, these only the still we have covered only the firewall, and these firewalls, they are also providing the providing the security as per the multiple level, right? And that's why, my dear friend, I was telling you that you can easily manage, because this is already integrated with our NSX manager. So through the single console, any NSX administrator can implement these firewall rules. NSX distributed IDS IPS. So guys, again, whenever this word will come into picture, IDS and IPS, first of all, just let me tell you about IDS and IPS. What is IDS and IPS? IDS, my dear friend, intrusion detection system, and IPS is intrusion prevention system. They both are working on the basis of signature database. So what actually we have, my dear friend, suppose I am configuring this IDS and IPS here, and suppose whenever, my dear friend, suppose these are my particular server which is actually residing behind this IDS and IPS, and these are the particular users which are actually accessing our particular services through this IDS and IPS. Let's suppose this is any particular attacker who want to access our particular services on this particular server, and by chance, my dear friend, this is the attacker, and he just want to send any particular exploit, because he just find out that any vulnerability is existing in our data center. So for exploiting that vulnerability, this attacker will send any exploit. And then, my dear friend, whenever this exploit will be passing through this IDS and IPS, this IDS and IPS will check the signature of this packet, whatever the signature. If these signatures will be matched as per the particular database of the IDS and IPS, then it can easily detect it. Oh, this is the malicious. Then, my dear friend, what are difference between IDS and IPS? It will only generate the alert. It will only generate the alert. But if you are configuring the IPS also, then guys, it will generate the alert and block that traffic also. Okay, so depends as per your environment requirement, what kind of action you want to configure. Would you want to block any malicious traffic, or would you want to generate the alert? So guys, same thing again, we have these particular IDS IPS also, we can configure on both level, right? Distributed, the meaning of distributed, that is to protect east west traffic, right? So distributed IDS and IPS we can configure to protect, to provide the protection for our east west communication, east west traffic. Then how we can protect north south traffic through IDS and IPS? Then, my dear friend, to provide the protection for this north south traffic, we can configure north south IDS and IPS also. So these, whenever you want to configure this north south IDS and IPS, this one will be configured as per the gateway level. So you can see, guys, this is our internal network, our data center, right here, our all the servers database, it is actually residing here, and this is the gateway. As per the uplink interface of the gateway, guys, we have configured this north south IDS and IPS. So whenever any attacker want to send any kind of exploit, then this IDS IPS will check the signature as per the gateway level. So you can see this is also provide the support, right, as per the north-south level also. That is the particular. It is also having the capability to the provide the security as per the north-south traffic. And guys, if you can see here, then about this distributed, it is also one of the part of VNIC slot, because my dear friend, VMware having a particular service firewall. Okay, so this service firewall, it is actually inserted as per the slot number 2 of VNIC. Okay, slot number 2 of the particular virtual NIC. And as per this particular slot number 2, guys, these distributed IDS, IPS, and firewall, they all are the component of the VMware service firewall, SFW. So my dear friend, for providing the protection for our east-west traffic, you can simply configure this distributed IDS and IPS so that you can protect your east-west traffic. And guys, this is to provide the security, right? You can simply configure it as per the north-south. To provide the protection for your north-south traffic, you can simply configure it as per the particular gateway uplink interface. Next feature, guys, if we discuss about this intrinsic security, and very interesting, guys, we have TLS inspection. This TLS inspection, my dear friend, what actually it is doing? Because whenever we are discussing about this IDS and IPS, by chance, my dear friend, if this is, that we are not configuring the particular signature here, and this attacker, it is actually, suppose this is the legitimate user who is actually accessing the particular services, and by chance this attacker has been compromised this particular user, and he is actually sending this exploit from this device, and our IDS and IPS, right, it is not, it is unable to decrypt, it is unable to check the particular signature, which is it is unable to check the data, it is whatever the, because whenever this device, this attacker will use this particular device, and suppose this attacker will encrypt this particular signature and will forward it through this particular IDS and IPS. So suppose if it is unable, because there is no IDS and IPS who has the capability to check any particular encrypted data. So in this condition, my dear friend, VMware introduced this very nice feature, which is the TLS inspection. So what actually it will do, whenever the particular traffic will be hitted, then it will decrypt that particular traffic, right? So if you can see here, guys, we are configuring this particular TLS inspection. So this TLS inspection, my dear friend, we are again configuring as per the particular gateway level. So we are configuring it as per the gateway level. So what actually it will do, guys, it will just unencrypted this particular traffic whenever the traffic will be reaches as per tier 1 gateway, and then forwarded this particular traffic for the inspection. How many features we are using, IDS, IPS. If you are using URL filtering, this is also very nice feature. Suppose if you want to configure any URL filtering, then my dear friend, it is also maintaining one database, and inside this particular database, it is maintaining, it is providing the scoring that how malicious that particular URL. So it is actually having the rating from 0 to 100. If anyone, it is actually having the rating nearby 100, so that is, this is actually the worthy, this is trusty. And if it is someone having nearby 0, then this is in the suspicious category, in a critical category. If you, it is, you are we are also configuring the malware detection. So in this condition, whenever there is any looking like a malware, it will forward it for the malware detection. This malware will check it, malware detection technology will check it, will inspect it, and then again send back the response for the NSX manager. And then, my dear friend, it will again re-encrypt that one and forward this particular traffic to the backend server. So this is also newly introduced technology in NSX. Then, guys, about the malware prevention, right? This is very interesting, malware prevention, because whenever this malware word come into picture, then my dear friend, we always say that it can be any virus, it can be any worms, and very popular attack, guys. If you heard nowadays in the industries, this is ransomware. Okay, this is the ransomware. Any kind of spyware, it can be used for any monitoring, any kind of keylogger, any Trojan, then my dear friend, any kind of these particular malicious software which may harm to our devices, my dear friend, they are under the category of malware. How we can provide the protection for our data center against any kind of these particular malwares? So again, guys, we have this particular technology which is a malware prevention. So what we can do, we can simply configure the malware prevention, and what it will do, it will deploy one service virtual machine which will inspect the entire data. My dear friend, this is container based solution, because I already informed you earlier that NSX is one of the solution. The beauty of this NSX, that it is providing the virtual networking and security functionalities for the virtual machine as well as container also. So my dear friends, obviously whenever we are discussing for the security also, it is providing the security feature also. And this malware prevention is one of the technology which is also built on the container, which is the very rising functionalities, rising features, rising technology nowadays. Okay, so this malware prevention is also built on the container technology. So what it will do, whenever it will receive any kind of malicious activity, so it will just check the signatures for entire files, how many files are there, right? So before execution of any file, it will check the hash value and it will check into the reputation service, because it is maintaining the NSX advanced threat intelligence cloud. And as per this NSX advanced threat intelligence cloud, my dear friend, it is actually using machine learning and artificial intelligence techniques. And with the help of this one, it will analyze that file, whatever the verdict. It can be any malicious, it can be legitimate. So what will be the verdict? It will send back this verdict to NSX manager, and then guys, you can easily check into event. Oh, this file is the malicious file. So whatever the action you want to configure, if you want to generate only the alert, then it will generate the alert. If you want to block this particular file, then it will block the execution of that particular file. That particular file will not be execute. And my dear friend, if there is no execution for any particular trojan, then it will not harm it don't have the capability to harm your device, because any trojan, any these kind of the particular malwares, they can harm your device after execution only. And this malware prevention, it will analyze the file before execution also and during the execution, because it may also be possible, guys, by chance any attacker, it is actually sending, it is wrapping this malicious file, this malicious trojan, with a legitimate file. So maybe that this file, it is actually looking like a legitimate file, but whenever any user, any administrator will execute that file, at the back end it will be exploited, the vulnerability. So my dear friend, it will have the capability to monitor that particular file, to analyze that file before execution and during the execution also. So if during the execution that file will pretend any malicious activity, any malicious behavior, will try to connect with any unauthorized file from the internet, or will try to connect with any particular unauthorized port, then my dear friend, it will immediately block that particular service. So this is also one of the particular very interesting feature, which is malware prevention. Again guys, this malware prevention we can also configure for a particular east west traffic, that is to provide the protection. And second one, my dear friend, for the particular north south, in the north south it can be configured as per the gateway level. So whenever any particular newly introduced file will be, and new whenever any new file will try to enter as per the gateway level, it will inspect that file there, and then only will allow this particular file to execute, to enter right in the particular environment. So guys, we have east west malware prevention and we have north south malware prevention. So this north south malware prevention, my dear friend, it will protect our data center as per the particular gateway level, that is the particular north south traffic. Whenever the north south traffic it is actually flowing, then it will just provide the protection as per the particular gateway level. NSX intelligence. This is also one of, this is also one of the very powerful tool, right? This is also integrated with our NSXT. What is the use case? What is the benefit for this NSX intelligence, guys? Nowadays this is a very big challenge to identify how the traffic is actually flowing. Because my dear friend, nowadays suppose in your environment thousands of servers are actually running, thousands of containers are actually running. So how you can configure the firewall rules? Maybe if there is any particular issue, and maybe if you have configured any particular wrong firewall rule, then entire traffic may be blocked. So it is again a very big challenge to configure the firewall rule as very granular level. So how we can how we can make it easy? So for make it easy for my dear friend, we can use this NSX intelligence. Because what actually this NSX intelligence will do, it is having these three features: visibility, policy recommendation, and suspicious traffic detection. What are these three? Let me tell you here. Visibility, my dear friend, this NSX intelligence will provide you the information how the traffic is actually going to be flow, because it have the capability to gain the access into network. It will just gain the access into network and then will provide you the flow information. How, suppose we have these multiple entities, these some of the virtual machines, and the traffic is actually going to be flow across these all the virtual machines. So it will just provide you the information that these are the particular machine 1, 2, 3, and 4. And suppose this 4 is actually communicating with the machine number 1 on this particular port number 443. Suppose this is actually communicating on the port number 80. Suppose this is communicating on the port number 20. So 22. So that is, you can easily find out the information how the traffic is actually flowing. It will provide you the entire information. So this is the visibility. So guys, whenever it will provide you the entire visibility, you can easily find out the information about the traffic, about the data. Policy recommendation. Guys, I informed you that nowadays this is very big challenge to define the firewall rule as per the granular level. So guys, how we can just configure? So guys, this NSX intelligence will analyze the data. How can we leverage on this NSX malware prevention solution, cloud-based solution? Yes, Salim, please just let me complete, because last 15 minutes we have for the question and answer round, and then I will just tell you the answer. Okay, please. So guys, what will be because we have the particular solution for this particular NSX as per the particular public cloud level also. Okay, so I will tell you, because we have the VMC on AWS solution as well as also, and guys, this NSX, it is also supported for Azure and AWS. Okay, so it is supported, then we can configure it. But I will just I will just give the answer later. So guys, the policy recommendation, what it will do, my dear friend, it will just this particular policy recommendation, whenever you want to you are configuring this NSX intelligence, then it will just collect the data, right? Then it will just use some of the particular tools for analysis this particular data, and then, my dear friend, after analysis this particular data, it will automatically configure some of the particular firewall rules and the particular group, and will provide you this particular recommendation. Okay, as per the analysis of the particular previous time, whatever you are defining, as per this one, it will just give you the recommendation. Okay, these are the firewall rules and the groups we have configured right now. If you want to apply it, then please apply. So through the single click, you guys can apply it. As an NSX administrator, you can easily apply it. And if you do not want to apply, if you want to discard, then through the single click, my dear friend, you can discard it also. Okay, so this is again depend on you, right? If you are thinking that these all the rules are actually okay, then you can apply it. This one will create the firewall rules and policies as per very granular level. Third features, my dear friend, we have suspicious traffic detection. So this also have the capability to detect any kind of suspicious activity. Whenever suppose any particular, any particular traffic, but any particular unmatched pattern is actually going to be there, or maybe suppose the pattern is not matching, maybe any particular suspicious download, the data download is there, maybe suspicious uploading is going to be there. So it will generate the alert. Okay, this activity is looking like suspicious. It is having some of the predefined definition, right? So it will analysis as per that one, and then will generate the alert. Okay, I have just find out this particular activity which is looking like suspicious. Next one, my dear friends, we have NDR, Network Detection and Response, NSX NDR. So this is also one of very powerful solution, because, my dear friend, it is actually having three tiers: sensor tier, management tier, and analytic tier. Okay. So if we discuss about the architecture for this one, guys, it is having sensor tier, it is having management tier, and it is having analytic tier. This analytic tier is the brain of this NDR, because what it is actually, my dear friend, it is doing, it is this sensor tier, it is collecting the data, it is collecting the data from our all these particular workload which is running inside our data center. And then this particular management tier, it is providing a separate user interface also, and also forwarding this particular data to NSX advanced threat intelligence cloud, where it is using some artificial intelligence, machine learning techniques, and with the help of these kind of the techniques, it will just analysis this particular data. So guys, after the analysis, it will just provide the information. What is the particular level of the particular attack? What is the level of the particular threat? So guys, if there is any particular attack in our organization, then what actually it will do, my dear friend, it will provide the attack scenario to the security team. In this attack scenario, it will provide all the kind of information. What is the stage of the attack? What was the time of the attack? What is the particular threat? Suppose there is any particular Tesla crypt, suppose there is any particular Trojan, right? So this is the particular type of attack. The attack is server side or the particular client side, whatever the particular, how many devices, how many endpoint devices they are actually going to be infected. It will provide these all the kind of the information to the security team. And then, my dear friend, whenever the security team will find out this particular attack scenario, then they can take any particular action immediately, quickly. And guys, it is also providing the information of the particular blueprint. That is, you can just identify the blueprint for your entire topology, and what is the particular level of compromise, how many, what is the percentage of the particular compromise, how many, our devices are going to be infected from this kind of the attack. And this is also having the capability to protect, even that, to mitigate that kind of the particular attack scenarios also. And it is also, my dear friend, whenever it is also having a separate user interface. You can check the you can check the campaigns. Whenever it will analyze the data, then it is providing you the information that these campaigns are actually running there. So that's why it is also minimizing the risk, and also 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 managing the lateral moment, right? Lateral moment is one of the procedure, that is whenever any attacker, it is actually moving inside our data center to get more and more data, right? Because whenever attacker is compromising any particular device, then his motive to get the his motive to collect the particular data, to steal the data, to steal the information. So my dear friend, in this condition, what will be happen whenever any particular attacker will try to move inside our data center? Then my dear friend, it will also mitigate that one, and it will also limit the lateral moment, so that attacker do not have the capability to move inside our data center. So this is a very powerful tool. So my dear friend, as I told you, all these of the particular security feature, because because the time is already limited we have in the webinar, so we have covered only the important topics of this NSX security. And my dear friend, the beauty of these all the security functionalities, that they all are integrated with our NSX manager, with our NSXT. So through the single console, my dear friend, we can easily manage it, right? Or we can easily manage it. Any particular NSX administrator who is having the knowledge of our NSX, then my dear friend, he can easily manage all these security features, because we have the dedicated training for this one also. For intrinsic security, we have dedicated training for NSX also. So who is having the experience with NSX manager, he can easily manage these all the security features through the single console. No need for no need for any collaboration for the application team, no need for any collaboration for any CPU team, for any particular network team, because only the NSX administrator, he can easily manage these entire security features through the single console. This is the beauty of the intrinsic security. So my dear friends, finally we have covered all these particular topics because we have the limited times here. So first of all, finally, really thank you so much for giving your precious time for joining this webinar. Right now, guys, you can start with your questions. Okay, so let me stop my sharing, and guys, you can start your questions. Oh, you are just let me give you the answer for Salim. Your question. Your question was, how can we leverage on the NSX malware prevention solution for cloud-based solution? Because my dear friend, it is only supported for the particular VMC on AWS environment, or the particular AVS Azure VM solution. So whenever you want to configure it in any particular public cloud environment, then my dear friends, you just need to configure it